Next one's from Mike Kimbler, and the subject is Matt Hardy puts over Dark Order. Top of the morning to you, lads. In a recent interview with Chris Van Fleet, Matt Hardy was putting over the Dark Order, calling it cool, and saying the payoff is finally here and the act has worked and is over since Brody Lee squashed Cody. Jojo, the segment starts in 1955, but we're not going to listen to this. My question isn't whether you agree or not. We all know your guys' opinion of the act. My question is if you think he may actually feel it's over, or is he just towing a company line? I figure with as long as he's been in the business that he's allowed to call a spade when something stinks. Also, Disco, are responses like this what keep him on the Disco list? Lastly, I think the Disco Inferno should have gotten the title run and streak in WCW instead of Goldberg. That's a great point. The company would have never went out of business with that booking and would eventually won the Monday Night Wars. I agree. I also think an MWO invasion of the NWO would have been money as well. You can do that. That's from Mike.
You're a mark anyways.
No, bro, all these get – look. You
know what? Why don't – it's only a minute. Let's hear it so we can at least so we can make a good response to this. What can you put that minute just to hear what he said?
There's an ad to get paid.
You'll pretty legitimately get a chance, especially if Tony, sees that you believe in that vision and you want to try it, you want to attempt it. He'll, they'll give it an attempt and they'll let it work. And I think
you can hear that, right?
Yep.
One of the coolest things, just as of recent, is the Dark Order deal. Because I know there were a lot of people that believed in the Dark Order. And if you watch BTE, they've been like a featured act on Being the Elite. The Young Bucks have really thought, like, these guys, it's going to work. We just had to give it some time. We got to stay focused on them and continue the given path. And now it worked with that big match where Brody Lee killed Cody the other day and became the TNT champion. And then, running parallel to their super entertaining bits on Being the Elite, like the Dark Order, that act has worked. And that's like something I feel like in WWE, if that act would have had an opportunity to be on screen, that would have been given up on a long time ago. Sometimes the course isn't always direct. You kind of go to the right, you go to the left, but like you have to like stay focused on ultimately where you want to get to, and just continue to keep on trekking.
I'm just really
let me tell you something. This is the thing that happens when you're working in a company and when you're working with people close by. You establish personal relationships with them. Plus, you also have to work with them. So you can't be bearing shit on your own show because you could get fired, get heat with the boys. All right. He's obviously in a positive mindset, probably getting paid good. He's happy. He's not going to rock the boat and say it sucks because Dark Order did not get over by Brody Lee winning. Brody Lee got over. Okay. That whole thing to me is brutal. And maybe it'll get better in the future. But so far, to me, it's been brutal. And so it's almost like when, Ivanka Trump is putting, the things they're saying about my husband is a lie. And then his son, we're always being, well, what do you expect? It's his son and his husband. And what are you they're going to talk bad about Trump?
Right.
I mean, what do you can expect? I mean, I can't go, I could criticize stuff from AAA, but I have to be very diplomatic because it could cost me my job. I'm not going to go out there and bury the product.
Well, you would have no trouble burying the product in the past. You've always been out smoking. And let me finish.
I have, but
the WWE
come at a heavy price.
You see WWE wrestlers, some of them have been vocal about burying their own product. Bro, I've never heard a peep about anybody ever burying anything about AEW.
Right.
Like they've been very consistent with, like, I guess they're a team and we're never going to talk. Bro, it's that social justice kind of like mentality. We're all in this. We're all right.
Yeah.
So we're never going to. We're all correct about everything we're doing. So none of us are ever going to criticize anything any of us do.
And it's almost like that.
Let me tell you, this is the point. When you guys do something wrong and you guys won't even criticize yourselves and we criticize it for you, you get mad at us for being critical. So it's actually not a bad culture to have.
And it's almost like, it is bad because you're never accepting your mistakes or your faults. Yeah. And there's an Italian word for it, amaretta, which is a code of silence, which the cops do, the mafia does, and wrestlers, let's keep this inside. No. There's no reason to keep this inside. Let people know, people need to know that things are not being done right, but nobody wants to rock the boat, dude. And that's the problem.
And what this comes across as eventually when this happens is dishonesty, So it's like you just don't really, sound like you're being really honest,
And here's the thing, and I've said this before and it's worth repeating. Here's the problem we have in general in society and wrestling. We don't want to hurt anybody's feelings or get anybody mad at us. So we just bull each other constantly and nobody ever speaks the truth. We just continue to bull each other and tell each other what we want to hear so we don't hurt anybody's fucking feelings. And that's why shit doesn't get done.